Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you watch this channel. Now, this debate of dishing out money to church is something that the Gen Zs protested against. If you remember, one of the issues that the Gen Zs raised was this issue of opulence. Someone just showcasing money anyhowly. So over the weekend, there's something that happened in a church within Kayole.
Nyumba ya father pale wanaisanda, sawa. Utakuja kuniona Monday ama Tuesday, takutafutia shilingi milioni 5.
Then there's another church, I think, within Kirinyaga.
Nawashukuru wote ambao wametoa sadaka. Mimi nimetumwa na sadaka ya rais ya shilingi milioni 5. Watu wa press, vile tumesikizana, sadaka ndio tunatoa. Amba ya Harambee, we are waiting for the law. Na mimi niko na sadaka pia, hata kama nilikuwa nimebeba sadaka ya mkubwa wangu, na mimi nasindikisha hiyo sadaka na sadaka yangu binafsi ya shilingi milioni 2.
So, in these two incidences, William RUTO dished out 5 million to a Catholic church. In a separate event in Kirinyaga, Kithure Kindiki also conveyed William RUTO's donation of 5 million, which he termed is some kind of offering. Then he went further to also dish out 2 million, making it 7 million. That 2 million was his own offering. Now, if you combine the two, 5 million and 2 million, these are 12 million. So in a separate debate that was hosted by Sam Gituku, and some of the invited guests were Gladys Bosholei, who was the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. We had Wamuchomba, and then we had DANSON Maanzo. So in that debate, ladies and gentlemen, the focus was on this money which we can say the government dished out to the Catholic. Now, the bone of contention here, that actually the biggest issue that DANSON Maanzo conveyed in that debate is that how comes, because normally sadaka ukitoa, you don't pronounce how much you've given because it's sadaka. But here comes a case whereby RUTO stated the amount he was giving, and Kithure Kindiki also stated the amount which he was giving. If that was an offering, ingekuwa ni kitu cha siri yake na Mungu wake. So the bone of contention here is, why did the two leaders pronounce these amounts in public? Now, I want us to go extensively to this debate. It's a very explosive one. You will be shocked at the manner in which Gladys Bosholei responded to a question on why the two leaders had to, disclose the amount that was being offered. Now, before you get there, please, I'd like to kindly encourage you to like this video. It's so important because that is the only way YouTube shares our content. Subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed before, and to existing subscribers, thank you so much for the support. Gladys Bosholei, based on the questioning from Sam Gituku, it's as if she didn't have an answer to why, William RUTO, the president, and the deputy president, Kithure Kindiki, had to be public about the amount they were offering, because that is not the way it's normally done. Normally, you walk into a church, baada ya maombi, wakati sadaka inatolewa, you just drop your offering without mentioning how much you're giving. The only time you state the amount you've given is when there is harambee. That is when you don't pronounce how much you're offering, because ile ni harambee tu, ametoa milioni 5, ametoa milioni 10, ametoa ngapi. But this comes a situation whereby you are giving out sadaka, and at the same time you're telling the people how much you've offered, which is contrary to the beliefs of Christianity. Now, I wanted to pay a very keen attention on this video.
what God requires from us is first tithe and a sacrifice. Now, when you make tithe, which is 10%, it is out of what you have earned. And when you make sacrifice, it is also out of what you have earned. Now, I will presume that the monies the president and the deputy are giving is part of the Statehouse budget. It could not be, it may be what they earn, but it may also be part of Statehouse budget. What's supposed to be used?
There's a Statehouse budget for churches.
No. Their own
for Sadaka.
Yeah, no, for Sadaka, but what has been budgeted for the office of the president. And that money, if it is not used for purposes of developing and working for the nation, it should be taken back for rebudgeting and should be used in other useful areas in the country. The moment you take stolen money to a church, to a sanctuary, you are actually attracting curses to yourself. And the Bible says you will end up in confusion.
Are you insinuating that money is stolen?
What else could it be? If it was budgeted for purposes of Statehouse, if it is not used for that purpose, it should be taken back to Treasury and budgeted for hospitals, for roads, and such things, because it is state money. Only personal money and what is your sacrifice is what you give to a church. Any other monies you give to that church, then it is stolen money. And therefore your sacrifice will not be different from the one of Cain. And it will not please God. And you know what follows if you make that. So I'll really encourage leaders. Stolen monies should not be given for God's purposes. God is not poor. God is the owner of everything. And God wants to see your clean heart in your sacrifices and in your tithing. And therefore, you must explain where you have gotten this money to go and give us tokens in churches and even to conduct an Arambi. What they did was actually to conduct an Arambi, yet they have stopped us from doing Arambis for churches.
Professor Kenike says that is not Harambe, it's Sadaka.
But he knows his lie. He knows it means the other. I thank God, you know, Professor Kenike, just like myself, we are children of the clergy. He must know better what it is. So I think politicians should know very carefully that the sanctuary is never played with, God is never mocked, and we should be truthful. We should not use the state money, you know, to enhance ourselves unfairly against others and to play around with the sanctuary.
Yes, very well, ladies and gentlemen. DANSON Maanzo is saying, is giving us something here, which is good if we just address. You know, one, an offering or a tithe is supposed to come from a certain percentage of pesa yako, what you earn. Now, we all know that the president's salary is not 5 million. So according to DANSON Maanzo, he thinks that this money could have been taken from the president's budget, that is within the Statehouse, which according to him, again, he says that this is money that normally, if it's not spent, it's normally taken back to the treasury for another budget, you know, so that it can be taken back to the treasury and then reallocated to some other projects of the state. But here comes a scenario where this money has been given to the Catholic to probably build the father's house. So hapo ndio kuna shida. What is happening is that DANSON Maanzo wa Muchomba, both of them believe that hii pesa ni kama ni ya uwizi. According to them, ladies and gentlemen, those are not my words. Those are words of DANSON Maanzo, who amplified that narrative, saying that this is like stolen money because it does not reflect the salary. Because a tithe, you know, 10% of what you get. So if 5 million is 10% of what RUTO got, it means he could have gotten how much? Could we say that he got 50 million as the salary? Is that the case, ladies and gentlemen? That is what is not adding up. And that's the reason why DANSON Maanzo doesn't agree with this whole drama. Something I make out of all this, you know, is that I know RUTO did this deliberately, the dishing out or the offering. It was done deliberately to try to contain the Catholic, because the pressure right now, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, the pressure is unbearable to William Ruto's government. The fact that the Catholics have pronounced their position, and then two leaders within UDA decided to, provide another stand of defending the government. And by defending the government, these two individuals, I'm talking about Gladys Boshole and Sudi, ended up kind of mocking these archbishops. People have been saying that the statement that Gladys Boshole, even though she has defended herself, that statement was a mockery to the archbishops. In fact, it was quite belittling to the archbishops. That is the position that so many people have taken, and this is one of the reasons why you find that Gladys Boshole has been attending numbers of interview or other debates, TV debates like the one that you have just showcased here,
which is in secret. You don't announce it.
You're now trying to tell me to start interrogating and analyzing people's faith. I think when you give to the church, it is personal. It is between you and your God.
So why announce it?
No, I'm saying how you decide to do it is personal between you and your God. So it is not for me to start saying, I think we should do it this way or do it that way. I think that is...
I'm not asking you
No
at a personal level. I'm asking you as a member who sits in the National Assembly to oversight the executive. These are the leaders of the executive that have said, including the president himself, that fundraising is banned. And that is why Professor Kindiki is actually quoting the president. But then you give in church and you announce it. What is the source of that money?
I think you seem to have some thoughts about it. Why don't you explain to us what your thoughts are? Because
no.
You're trying to make me say what you want to hear.
If you don't have an answer, it's okay
I don't
to say
have
you don't have an answer.
Yes, I said it's personal.
So that
the mindset right now is that she mocked these people, she belittled these people, and there was a scenario where Rigathi Gachagua ended up saying that Gladys Boshole and the rest were kona madharau. So but that explains why maybe she's been attending these TV interviews, TV debates, so that she can clear that perception from the minds of Kenyans. So, ladies and gentlemen, basically, what do you make of these donations that you've seen? Donations in form of, they are calling them offerings. But we know that Harambes have been banned. But what we have seen there is some kind of Harambee, some kind of, it's just the same as what has been banned. Because hii ndio kitu ambayo ilikuwa wajenzi hawataki, lakini it is happening. So it means everything that the Gen Zs fought against is coming back. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to rest my case there, but just go below in the comment section and offer a reaction regarding this statement by DANSON Maanzo. Kwamba zile pesa labda zile ziliibiwa. He calls them stolen money, but we know this is not stolen money. Maybe it's money that was allocated to the president for his budget. Now he could have taken that money and dished it out to churches. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.